Hi, this is Book and Bujo. I'm Debbie, and welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you've been here before. I am so glad you're here with me today for my end of the year book tag. When we get towards the end of the year, we start thinking about what we want for the next year, but it would be nice to kind of still stay present a little bit and figure out what our final goals and trying to meet our expectations for the end of the year and get to all those books we're still hoping we're going to get to. Hence the end of the year book tag. So this book tag has 6 different questions. I'm not sure who originally started this one, but I found it through Dani at Current Chapter as well as Leslie from The Nerdy Narrative, and I will leave both of their channels linked down below for you. So the first question is, are there any books that you started this year that you still need to finish? And that would be no. I don't tend to start books that I don't finish. I either follow through with them, typically, occasionally I will DNF one, but I typically follow through with my TBR and try and get as much finished, and then if I don't finish, then I finish it in the following month. So I don't have any that I have not finished, but I do have book series that I need to finish by the end of the year that I have not done so. And the 2 that I'm thinking are the most kind of my priority series that I need to finish. The first one is I would like to finish the Slip series by David Estes. I've read Slip and Grip and I still have Flip left to go. So one last book and I will have that one finished. Most of the other series I have at least 2 or more books to finish. So I'm not too concerned about those. I'll just roll those over into 2024. The other one is on my Our Fantasy Bingo, and it's a duology, so I would like to try and finish that one this year, and that is The Thousand Eyes by A.K. Larkwood, and that is part of the Serpent Gates series. So question number 2 is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? And again, that answer is no. I pretty much read all of the fall and autumnal feeling books that I wanted to read in the end of October and beginning of November. So what I'm really looking forward to right now is transitioning into my 12 books of Christmas and getting more into the winter and holiday season books. And the one I'm most looking forward to, so I didn't realize the series was still going. I thought it had completed at the trilogy, but no, a 4th book just came out this year and I'm so excited. So that is the 4th book in the Christmas Tree Farm Mysteries by Jacqueline Frost, and that book is Stalking Around the Christmas Tree. She has a fun play on phrases for all of the books. So you have the 12 Sleighs of Christmas, S-L-A-Y-S. The second one is 'Twas the Knife Before Christmas. The third one is Slashing Through the Snow, and then the 4th one now is Stalking Around the Christmas Tree. So I'm super excited to get back into that series because it is so fun. It's cozy and it's a fun mystery, keeps you kind of guessing, and she lives on a Christmas tree farm that has a little bakery and a little hotel, and it's just adorable. It's super cute. Just so much fun. And as having someone been in the hospitality industry for a lot of my life, I worked at summer camps mainly, it's just fun to kind of see that theme go through some mystery books. The Christmas Tree Farm Mystery follows Holly White and her fiance cancels their Christmas Eve wedding with less than 2 weeks before the wedding, and she is devastated. She's also somewhat embarrassed and just brokenhearted. She heads home to the Christmas Tree Farm to spend the holiday season with her parents, and that is in Mistletoe, Maine, which is a bit of a magical place. Okay, question number 3, is there a new release you are still waiting for? And that is yes, there is, and it is coming soon. It starts December 1st, so I'm very excited. And that is The Advent of Winter, and it's a fantasy anthology written by a bunch of different fantasy authors, and I know Ryan Cahill's in there, so I'm very excited for that one. There's some really good authors in there, so you should check it out. But it was put together by Dom McDermott from Dominish Books. I believe his channel linked below, as well as the Kickstarter if you want to check it out. Starting December 1st, you're emailed 1 short story a day, so it's like a little advent calendar of short stories. And then at the end, if you chose that route, you could either get the bundle as an ebook or a hardcover, and the hardcovers are beautiful. I did choose the ebook route because I have been very naughty this year and have spent way too much money on books, so I went with the cheaper option on this one, but I definitely still wanted to support the project. Starting December 1st, very excited for the advent of winter. So what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? So I could say Flip by David Estes because that's the 3rd book in the series I want to finish. I could also say The Thousand Eyes, which by A.K. Larkwood, because again, that's the 2nd in the series, and I want to finish those series, but I did already mention those, so we'll go with 3 different ones. So one of them is Of War and Ruin by Ryan Cahill. I really want to get to that one. Or reread of Blood and Fire, the 1st book. Haven't decided. One of those 2. I have them both, so I'm looking forward to reading of Blood and Fire again, but also getting to Of War and Ruin because I can't wait to see what happens next. And then I also would like to read A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher because that one just sounds like it would be very enjoyable. And the other one I have up here off camera, you can't see it. I took the dust jacket off. It's actually right here. I have the dust cover here. But it's The Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake. So I have read The Atlas 6, which is right here. And I haven't gotten to this one yet. I did get this for my birthday last year, so I really should have read it by now, but I haven't. So this is another one I would like to get to this year, if I can. We'll see how my TBR treats me. Question number 5. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? So I'm trying to decide if this means one you haven't read yet or one you have already read that's going to end up rising to the top above all the other books that you've read. I was taking it kind of as a new book that you haven't read yet, but now I'm wondering, because I did read Of Darkness and Light this year, so that one could be one that I think would rise to the top. But I've had some really good 5-star reads. I read the whole Stormlight Archives, and there's some really good books in that one too. I really like the Cinder and Bone series by Kyoko M. Those are really good. So if we go that route, maybe one of those books would probably rise to the top, I'm thinking. But if we're talking new books that I haven't read yet that I still need to read, that is A Day of Fallen Night by Samantha Shannon. So you can kind of see the Priory of the Orange Tree up here in the orange, right here. And A Day of Fallen Night I do have on my Kindle. So that is one I'm thinking I would end up being 5-star because Priory definitely was. Mother of Learning by Damagaj Kermayak. I've heard some really good things about this one, and this is another one I would like to get to that I think could rise to the top. I would say Sword of Kaigen, but that was a reread and so is not in the running to become a favorite book of the year because it's a reread. So that's my rules anyway. Has to be a new book. And then also I still do want to read Becoming by Michelle Obama, and I think that could be one that could rise to the top as well, but we'll see what my December TBR-opoly brings. Question 6. Have you already started making plans for 2024? And that is also a yes. So I've changed my plans a little bit. I was planning on doing a reread of the entire Malazan Book of the Fallen universe. So Eilington and Erickson's books interspersed, but I think I want to give myself a year off from that and go back to it in 2025. So that's kind of my plan for that. For 2024, I would like to get through Mistborn Era 2, because I have not read those yet, and kind of catch up on some of Brandon Sanderson's backlog that I have not got to this year. So I got to the Stormlight Archives, I've reread the Mistborn series, and I've read a lot of the extras like Dawn Shard and Edge Dancer and some of those. So there are still more that I need to get to that I haven't read of his, like the Skyward series and some of his other, like the YA and some of those other ones. But I would like to try and get to all of the Cosmere books next year in 2024. My priority though is the Kingfall series by David Estes. I do have all of those on my Kindle, and as well as audiobook, I believe, except for the last book. I don't think the audiobook was available when I got it. But that's my priority series for 2024, as well as A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan. That is another one that is really high on my list that I want to make sure I get to, as well as finishing out Of Cinder and Bone by Kyoko M, because that is a really great sci-fi series that I love, and I really want to see how it turns out. And then I also would like to start the ACOTAR series by Sarah J. Maas. So last year I did read the Throne of Glass series and I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I also heard that it's one of her weaker series, so I'm very excited to try ACOTAR. And then if time, maybe I could get to the House of Sky and Breath, the Crescent City series. I have both of those books on my Kindle, so hopefully I could get to those as well. I also plan on continuing with my read-alongs for the Cosmere with Elliot Brooks, as well as the Wheel of Time read-along with Sandra from Got a Thing for Things, as well as Discworld, Around the Disc in 800 with Literary Diversions. I also plan to continue with the book clubs that I am part of, the Catch-Up Book Club, so I back in the books. Covers with Cassidy has the Backlist Book Club, and then finally the Howling Pack Book Club with the Wild Sasha. I also would like to spend a little bit more time physically reading some of the books that I have on my shelves instead of listening to audiobooks and ebooks, because I tend to read through those faster. Physical books takes me a lot longer. This goal is kind of twofold. One is to help my reading speed, maybe speed up just a little bit with physical books, but also to kind of sit down and savor some of my most anticipated books and really thoroughly enjoy them instead of trying to get them finished by the end of the month. So I do want to keep up with my TBRs and have some time crunches, so to speak, so that, I guess deadlines would be a better word, have some deadlines to finish them to make sure I'm staying on track. But I also want to be able to take some time with some of the books and really just enjoy them and savor them. So for that, I will probably save Of War and Ruin for next year, so I have a little bit more time to sit and really savor it, as opposed to trying to finish it by the end of the year. What goals do you have for 2024? Have you started thinking about that yet, or are you not even there yet, still trying to finish your 2023 goals? What are some of your most anticipated reads for 2024? Do you have any that you are looking forward to that are coming out next year? Let me know down in the comments. And please like, comment, and subscribe if you wanna, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from me, like my TBR for December coming up soon. And if you made it this far, leave a book emoji or a pencil emoji in the comments to let me know you were here in honor of our reading goals. And until next time, keep reading. Bye!